You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Geek Chat. I'm Rich.
I'm Des.
We are on The Experience, one of the greatest places for comic book news, talk, sales, you name it, they do it.
Yeah.
That's on you. What's next?
What's next? As always, we are going to be doing our giveaway.
Yay!
Cover giveaway.
What are you trying to get fish?
Well, what? No, Shani's Magneto. So you could win this amazing Spider-Man variant by Chris Samney. It is the 1 in 25 variant for Amazing Spider-Man number 49. All you have to do is use the hashtag EXP, lowercase, uppercase, TGC, lowercase, variant, VARINT. And you have to do that on either YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. And when you do that, you will be entered to win. Please remember that you can only win
once every 30 days.
Once every 30 days. And I have my little handy dandy list here. So if you've already won, this is the third time that we're doing this. If you've already won, please, exclude yourself or because if not, I have to, we have to do it over again. So thank you so much to everyone who joins and participates. We really love giving these away to all of you, just so like a gratitude for you sticking by and staying in and talking with us and hanging out with us every Thursday from 5 to 6:30.
And hello to everyone who's in the comments and in the room right now.
Yes, hello to everybody. Preston, yes, free stuff. Hope we got your attention. Bar Lord, make two. Paul, Bryce Smith, come in and get your free stuff. Everyone, let's do it. So for today's episode, we have a bunch of stuff to talk about. New number ones, and we're going to also talk about the free comic day books that we thought were really, really good. So those are going to be pretty much a quick little hits. We're going to do a bunch of them because there were a ton of free stuff.
Yeah, there was.
Yes, and some were fantastic. Some were like, but overall, fantastic. And I really hope that you had a fantastic free comic day as well. Having said all that, let's get into our first section, which is movies, TV, and news. As always, let's talk about X-Men 97, episode 9. Wow.
One left.
Wow.
Yeah, one left to go, and
it's over too soon. I could have definitely took another 10, 12 episodes. Like, give us a full-on 24 episode season like they used to. Like, man. Hey, Jabroni. I really am like I want more. Like this just made me want so much more. So why don't you go ahead and recap the episode, Rich?
Magneto
was right.
The end. No, so I feel like this episode did a really good job balancing out some personal, some fighting. We've got some movement going on with Bastion and his master plan. I gotta say, at the end of it, I don't want to go all the way to the end, but the end shot was a comic book nerd's dream. They took that shot directly from the issue, and
which surprised the hell out of me.
The amount of respect for the source material is so evident, and I can't say enough about the writers, the voice acting, the animation crew, everything down to the music in it. It is just, they have stepped up the game for X-Men 97, and it shows. And it also shows really what Marvel can give us by way of animated series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the best word that you used there was respect. Okay? They respect the source material so much that even though they adapt it, it is adapted with such love and respect that it's just fantastic. It's just you can definitely see that they are comic book fans first, creators second. And
And I think that's
I
what's
love
missing
that.
from a lot of superhero movies.
Yeah.
Superhero movies, we're getting writers who probably have never read a comic book. And I gotta say, I don't know the writer. I don't know the writer of the Crisis movie that we talked about a couple weeks ago, but
Yeah.
I don't. That is when you take such a great book like Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then you give us that movie.
Yeah.
Whereas X-Men 97, they could have gone any direction. They could have wrote new stuff. They could have made up all this new stuff. But the fact that they're mining the back history and the catalog of the X-Men's many, 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 many decades and are making it into one cohesive story. And yes, make two. I am so happy we finally get Wolverine in the black and tan costume.
Yes.
It looked amazing.
Yes.
I have some notes. The fact that Rogue was put in that classic costume, I love that costume.
Yeah, her
Love
classic
it.
villain, her
Yes.
villain era.
Her
Yep.
villain era. Roberto in his New Mutants.
Oh, that classic
The
New Mutants when he showed up in it, it was the black and gold, not the blue and gold, the black and gold.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, he's in the outfit. He's in the outfit. Oh, and
Yeah.
then just the whole thing with Magneto coming down and with the Asteroid
M.
M.
Oh,
I was like, Max is not playing.
nope.
I was here for it, and then
Nope.
I thought it was really cool. And then Bastion talking about his mother and just everything about it was really great. And I love that they are mining the 90s in such a fantastic way.
Yeah.
That it just because it would be easy for them. It would be easy for them to make it like now and introduce Cassandra Nova, introduce all this new stuff that's happening, immediately introduce Krakoa and everything like that. But I love that they are keeping it steeped in the 90s.
Yeah.
Keeping it steeped in those storylines. And I just love it because it exposes a new generation to those stories and making it that final piece of where Magneto is pulling out his adamantium and making it like an homage to that image from the comics.
Yeah.
And just freeze framing on that was just chef's kiss.
And that's how they ended it. Like that's how they ended the episode.
Yep. And couple of things. I loved the fight scene with all the fight scenes were really great. Were really well orchestrated. Jean still doing her stuff. I'm not sure if she's dead or not. I don't think she is. Cable being brainwashed. With
the diamond.
Yeah,
with
the diamond in his forehead. Mm-hmm.
Loved it.
I want Madeline from the astral plane or something to come back and help. Like I really hope that in the next episode we finally get Jean Grey's magical girl moment.
Yeah, you've been waiting for that.
Yeah, I want to see her get her her. She doesn't need to be Phoenix. We already been there, done that. I just want her magical girl moment where she like fully evolves into that strong. Because don't get me wrong, with the bowling balls and all that awesome stuff, she was holding her own. I was in it.
Yeah.
I kind of real quick. I kind of got upset at Cyclops for hitting Professor, knocking him out because he was the one that changed the tide.
I know, but you know what? No, Scott. That was the first time I'm like, Scott, you finally did something I respect. So I just want to say, Barlord, you put even the harshest critics have been coming around on this show. I am really curious as to what people are finding wrong with the show. I don't tend to search out negative,
Comments.
reviews and
Yeah.
stuff, but my Twitter feed is full of people just, if anything, the negative critics are about the next wave of comic books, not so much the cartoon. And yes, Preston, I would love to buy this. Give me a steelbook version.
Yeah.
With a little bit of
I would own it.
some bonuses, some trading cards. Throw something in that's 90s. Make it a hollow foil cover. Yes, I would love to own this too. And
yeah,
Lorena, it's going to be an amazing binge when you sit to watch this.
So the experience says, so with the critical acclaim and fan love for the show, why was DeMeo fired? Well, supposedly there was a couple reasons why DeMeo was fired. And again, this is all hearsay from people that have worked with him. There were two specific large things that happened. Number one was supposedly he was really, really difficult to work with when he was a writer on
Blade,
a Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
What'd you say? Which one did you say?
I thought it was Blade.
No, I think he did some stuff with Blade, but he basically got one of his biggest thing was writing on Moon Knight, and I guess he was really, really hard to work with.
They've never worked with you then.
Ew. So yeah, here it was really hard to work with. And number two, he had a pretty racy OnlyFans.
Which, you know what? I'm sorry. He had the OnlyFans before.
He did. He did. And supposedly they said that was not the real reason for it. But I guess he had a pretty spicy Instagram, and he had it before, but when he started becoming much more of a prolific figure or face, it got to be a little bit much for, I think, the mouse. So
how awesome was it that you got his name in the cartoon?
Yeah,
when they took out and it just said DeMeo on the billboard.
Yeah, so I personally think that he is still involved, just not as much as he was.
I follow him on Twitter now because he tweets out a lot of stuff about X-Men 97.
So much good stuff. And so it just, one of the things that I fear is that I really hope that, like, I know it takes a village, so I really hope that they have enough driving force behind the show to really, keep up the momentum of this one.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks, well, a couple of people online, one particular that I watch, I can't remember his name, unfortunately. I think it's Blurred Comics, because Blurred is Black Nerd. And he
don't do that.
What was that? Oh, sorry, I was tapping on my hand. Sorry. It was Blurred was talking about possibly that we're gonna get Onslaught next.
Yeah.
As the next big villain for season 2.
Okay, let's get into that, because I love the fact that this show leaves you guessing within the moments that's happening, because I honestly didn't think we were going to get spoilers. The adamantium pulled out at this point. I really, really thought, I was like, oh my God, no. I really thought Charles was going to mind wipe Magneto at the time and point in the cartoon. I was like, I looked at Coogan, I was like, oh my God, he's going to mind wipe him. And that's when Wolverine put the claws through him, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he turned around and he was like, Magnus, stop! And he just pulled it all out. So I really want to say, so Preston, Preston is correct, Phil. TCG needs to be in all caps. Everything else is underlined. Sorry, underlined. Everything else is lowercase, but the TGC needs to be capped.
A couple more. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
A couple more things. So, blue and gold teams. Loved that. That's a nice little homage. We have Bastion is now a technopath. Loved that.
He's not a mutant though. He is a living first gen living sentinel.
And when Rogue and Roberto went to Magneto's side, and that was the first time in 9 episodes we saw Roberto sunspot up, and that was to go to the other side.
We saw him before when he was flying with Jubilee behind him.
But
we saw him, but this is the first time we saw him in in
Costume.
costume, fully ready. And his little
Sunspot.
speech about his mom, that was funny, but it was like, it wasn't funny. It was a great shot. It was a great little moment for him. But when he was fighting Jubilee, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Jubilee," and then
She's just like blam, blam,
yeah.
blam.
So I'm like, I know they're gonna get together and it'll be
Yeah.
okay. But
And then
I don't know.
team shot. Come on now. The team shot of everyone in costume, the classic costumes walking out, and then Gene and Scott do that little hug. The comic book nerd in me just screamed.
And then the play on the first X-Men movie when Scott throws Cable his new costume, and he says, "Where are we going, to the circus?" And he says, "What did you expect? Black leather?" I was like, yeah. So it's little things like that, like little references like that. It's really cool.
So
make two. Any recommendations of issues to read? Yeah, read Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attractions. The trade just came out a couple weeks ago.
You can read Fatal Attractions. You can read E is for Extinction.
Yeah.
You could read again, they didn't take place in as close together in the timeline, especially E is for Extinction and Fatal Attractions. You could read Extinction Agenda. That was really about Genosha, and that was a classic 90s one.
That has some classic 90s art too.
Oh yeah,
some
Rob
really
Liefeld,
out there art.
Yeah, Rob Liefeld was really at his prime. Jim Lee, beautiful. The whole thing with that whole Genosha arc with Jim Lee. That's the first time that Archangel and Wolverine fought. Ooh, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do I have?
Well, yeah. What else do you have before we move on?
I think that's it. I just the whole, like you already brought up the fight scenes. They did a great job of balancing personal touches. So you have Storm and Jean, who sisters, like she just kept talking about family. Aurora was very family heavy. And what do you do and how do you balance when the head of your family does what Xavier did? And I don't know if we're going to go into those specifics because we have one episode left and it's gonna be huge. You just know it is.
I think people were just a little more angry. Like, I get Scott's, anger and everything like that, but the whole thing about them abandoning him is like, he went to space to get healed. The fact that he had a little tryst with the woman that he loves, y'all are angry about that. Like, I can get it. Like, he didn't come right back because he thought everything was handled. So some of their stuff is a little like, okay, I get it. You're angry, but damn,
Yeah, the fact he wouldn't shake hands with him was big.
But I can understand that. That's why I can understand Scott's frustration because he did it, and Xavier pled his case about why he did it. But the fact is, he never let them be adults, and I understand that. So that whole interaction between Scott and Professor X was fine. I thought that was fine. But everyone else being angry at him for leaving and living, I'm like, y'all.
What about Rogue?
Bananas.
Rogue. The conversation between you didn't treat us like, you treated us like students.
Yeah, because I think and that's always been Xavier's his Achilles heel is he treats everyone like a student, but he doesn't realize that he can learn just as much from them.
Right.
And that's his biggest flaw. Is he's always trying to do the right thing, but regardless, but as they say, or hell was paved, the path to hell was paved with good intentions. And I think that's Xavier in a nutshell.
So whose side would you be on?
Xavier. I'm a good guy. Always a good guy. I'm bald. I have to be Xavier. You'd be Magneto because I know you. 100%.
I would follow him.
Yeah, wherever he may go. Don't demonetize us. Anyway, so yeah, X97, fantastic. We will have an all-out blowout for the last episode. Please be here next Thursday when we talk about it because it is going to be massive. One thing I do want to say that we're not going to talk about, even though I'm talking about it right now, is the new Superman suit. If you haven't seen it already, go take a look at it. I think it's too early for us to say anything about it right now
Thank
because
you.
the pose was just annoying. Like, give us a full. Oh, look, he had it right on deck. Okay, give us a full, like, standing up. Like, that totally looks like, a friend of mine told me, this looks like, can I please see this in a size 10? You know, like,
Oh my
or,
God, the memes that were coming out of
oh my
it.
god,
There was
yeah,
Al Bundy. It was
yeah,
hysterical. And then the one you sent me was really funny.
yeah. The Garfield one, Garfield sitting
Yeah.
in the chair with Brainiac behind him. Yeah, so I'll wait until we get a better look in sunlight. You know, I think that's better. So
Yeah.
we're gonna wait on that.
So real quick, I just want to say, hey, Steve, welcome in. And the Devastator, they're the green ones, and that came out probably 15 years ago, 10 or 15 years ago. It was one of the combiner, when they were doing all the combiners. It was that era where they just kept putting out combiners every other like month. It's that one.
Yeah.
So
To tell you the God's honest truth, when I was toy shopping in Japan, I saw a bunch of like first gen Transformers, and I was gonna buy you one, but I wasn't sure which one you would like really like.
any of them.
Well, because there wasn't like Starscream or Megatron, all of them were not there, so it was just all the other ones. So I wasn't
Just a
sure.
villain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when I go back next time in September, I'll let you know.
Woohoo!
Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is they announced what I'm assuming is the final book of the first new X-Men book wave, and that is X Factor. I am here for X Factor. There it is.
You are.
Yes, I am a huge X Factor fan. I have been an X Factor fan for a very long time. I have the first 50 issues in like mint condition. I have the issues that Arthur Adams did sign, but yeah, I'm here for this. I think it's going to be interesting. And I know they're making them sound like sellouts, but I don't, because they're a government sanctioned mutant squad to stop mutant teams or mutant outbreaks. Sorry, mutant uprisings or something like that. But I think that they're going to try to mimic what they did in the original by saving these people. And that's what I like about it. One thing I do not like is that weird ass XF thing on their shirt.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
No, it looks like, I don't know. It looks terrible. It looks terrible. So, but I love the outfits.
They're back to the blue and the gold. Love it. Love the X's. So it is written by Mark Russell, who did the Flintstones. He did the Snagglepuss. He wrote Fantastic Four Life Story. And then I love this. They say acclaimed X-Men artist Bob Quinn. I have zero clue who Bob Quinn is. Like, no idea who this acclaimed artist is. But until I see some interior pages, I am not going by that Greg Land cover.
No, well, you can't. Greg Land is the cover artist for the most part.
And they added Dr. Cecilia Reyes to the team today. They let that out because they released the official other variant covers.
Yeah.
And she will be on the team. So
great. I really like Cecilia Reyes. I thought she was a really underdeveloped character, and I'm glad they're giving her some more stuff. So I'm very happy for this news. I really hope that they do change their costumes. I really hope that Havoc finally gets something, because he's been getting the short end of the stick of everything. So
for the last decade and 2 decades,
more than a decade,
yeah,
he really needs to they really need to do something with Havoc. And I wonder who the leader is. I think it's Warren, right? Or is Warren funding it? And he has his regular wings back. So
right. Good. I was about to say, I really hope that we get the dual Archangel / Angel, like what has been happening through the whole Krakoa era.
Yeah, he has the ability to metalize his wings, stuff like that.
So I only thing I don't like about the press release was they're treating this like the line "Who will die." I don't want this to be a Suicide Squad type book. I don't want every episode or every issue to someone to die. I hope I really want Farrell to make it at least through the first arc. Like
I love that you think that she's the one that's going to die first.
I do. I just really do. And the people I follow on Twitter, they're really funny. They're like, so the team is made of blonde white guys and black girls. That's what the team's made of. And
a cat. So you got to kill the cat.
She's Latino.
They're going to kill the cat.
They got to kill the cat.
I mean,
don't know.
I don't think it's going to be as blatant, like people dying, left and right. I think people will get injured, and that I think that could make for good drama. But I think it's interesting that we're going to see Warren and Havoc, because you never really see them together. So
right.
I just wonder what it's going to look like. And are we going to? I mean, very rarely do any of the characters in the comics be self-referential. So like, I don't think Warren's gonna say, I remember when we did this before, blah blah blah, but that'd be kind of cool if they did. I don't know, I'm interested. I think out of all of the books, I know that I know that Preston had said that he's not too interested in the new X-Men books, but will pick up NYX. Yeah, I think there's a bunch of books that are out, and I think this is just the first wave, much like they did with the Krakoan era.
Yeah,
we're gonna get a bunch of books, and the ones that are doing well are the ones that are going to survive, right. And then they're going to kick out some more. So if you want a book to survive, this is the metrics they're probably going to go with. So, but again, we don't know how it's going to be. We did review later on in the show. We're going to talk about that first Gail Simone kind of intro story, and we'll talk a little bit about that and see how that comes into play. Real quick before we go, I know that Rich, Steve was really interested in your Transformers.
So, yeah, I do want to get one of the yellow ones just to have it. It's they do the Devastator, the Constructicons in yellow. I never had a yellow one, so I want it.
Yeah, and I had the old yellow ones, but I broke them and they're all destroyed. Yeah. And
then Bob Quinn, Alligator Loki. That was such a huge seller. I don't know why we didn't remember that.
Anyway, I remember funny that Devastator. I remember before we hit the commercial, I'll tell you a quick story. When I was a kid, my mom would never I love my mom with Mother's Day, it's Mother's Day, and I'm gonna go see her this weekend. So I'm just like, when I was a kid, she would always get me the swap meet versions of Transformers. So I always got the off-color, knockoff Transformers when I was a kid. So I had the knockoff Devastator that was all multicolored, and yeah, it was bad, but yeah.
I loved GoBots. I'm one of the I did not. I let my GoBots actually play with my Transformers. I didn't separate them. They were just all the same.
No.
As a kid, I didn't care.
No.
So, you want a GoBot?
So on that note, you guys can ponder, GoBots are Transformers. And
why? It doesn't have to be or.
Okay, so there you go. So don't ponder. Just in your mind, make it them together, hanging out and kicking it. And you do that,
they do own them now.
Yeah. So there you go. So while you do that, we'll be right back after this commercial break. See you in a minute.
Bye.
We know you probably get a lot of emails, but could you please make sure to sign up for our mailing list? We don't send a lot of emails, and we try not to bother you. We just want to give you the best information about all the cool stuff that's going on around here. Sign up on our website, theexplive.com.
Something is speaking to you.
Play more comics.
Just at the edge of your perception.
Play more comics.
Your senses fill with visions of vortices.
360 Comics.
Slowly drawing you to one thundering epiphany.
360 Comics!
360 Comics!
The universe is telling you to shop with 360 Comics. Joe's got amazing stock from high dollar to $5 books, from Silver Age to modern, CGC, variant covers, and more. 360 Comics every Wednesday at 9 Eastern, part of The Experience. Ask your local comic shop to add Battle Quest comics to your pull list today.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Geek Chat on the Experience. Be sure to head to comicshoppingexperience.com, sign up for the mailing list, and see what's on when. There are new shows on every day, all times, all shows, all kinds. So, hey Roger, welcome in. I'm
Yes.
Rich, by the way, and that's
Desmond.
hi Desmond.
Yes, I would definitely do Ultraman versus Micronauts as a kid as well. I did the Gem Star with he was the clear gem with the red. Yeah, I had him. Did all that kind of cool stuff with him too. So I'm definitely there. Hello, Roger. Welcome in. As always, want to let you know we are still doing our giveaway. Type in hashtag EXP underscore uppercase TGC lowercase variant VARIANT, and you can win this fantastic variant. It's a 1 in 25 variant by the amazing Chris Samney for the amazing Spider-Man 49 issue 49.
Which was a Blood Hunt crossover.
Yes, it was a Blood Hunt crossover. You would never know by this cover, which is fine.
No.
And yeah, so please sign in. Please note you have to use either YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch to sign in, and you can only win once every 30 days. So yeah, if you haven't done it already, please do that. I would love to send you we would love to send you a free comic. And again, this is to say thank you for taking the time to listen to these, two bobbing heads talk about comics for 90 minutes. Thank you. So now we're going to talk about some new comics of the week. You didn't like any of them, did you? Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is Robin #1.
Well, it's actually called
Boy
The
Wonder.
Boy Wonder.
It's called The Boy Wonder. It should be called Robin #1 because he talks about all his Robins. And
so it's a Black Label book from DC Comics.
I don't know why, by Juan Ba.
Junie Ba.
Yeah.
Written and drawn by Junie Ba.
So
colored by Chris O'Halloran and lettered by Aditya Bidikar.
Yeah. So yeah, it should have been called The Boy's Wonder because there is a ton of references to the other stuff. And so basically what it is it's a fever dream for Damien, who is trying to find his way in the world because he has to fight a demon and he needs help from the other Robins. And so it seems to be an expose or a exploration of where Damien fits in with the other Boy Wonders, because it's a lot of existential questions that he's asking himself about where he fits in with this family, with Batman, Batgirl, Robin, and everything else. And you get a lot of exposition of him talking about his past, where he's coming from, and stuff like that. So no Homelander in there at all, but
that's coming back in a couple months. Can't wait.
Last one. But so what were your thoughts of it first?
So
because again, there was the writing and the artwork.
Right. I am not a fan of the Black Label series that they're doing. I find it to be unnecessary. It's oversized, doesn't fit. Like if you're gonna you're gonna put a book out, you better make a bag for it, because a lot of times these don't fit in the magazine bags, which are the bigger ones. I think the line a long time ago was ruined by the Batawang. I think having Batman's Batawang coming out and all the attention it got really put the Black Label line on a major bump.
Well, because you don't know what it's about. Like, you know what the Max line is.
Right.
You know what you're getting with the Marvel Max line.
This book was...
You don't know.
I don't know who this book was geared towards. Like, it is an all ages book by all rights, because there was nothing offensive in this.
Mm-mm.
So why make it the press? Even I missed the Prestige format where it was just a bound book. Do you remember those Prestige?
Yeah. No, I remember.
I don't know why they needed to make. Now, some might say it was because the art. So the idea of a Black Label book being bigger is so you can experience the art, more of it. You get those bigger pages. So yeah, I get that aspect of it. I don't see why this needed to be in this format.
I also think we have Asian American History Month coming up, and I think this is another part of DC's way of doing that, by giving a lesser known creator a spotlight like this. So that might be another reason why they did it. And Barlord says, isn't Robin being explored in Batman and Robin? Exactly. The relationship between Batman and Robin and father and son paralleling is happening in that book. And it seems to be a much better... I don't want to say it's much better, because I actually liked the book. I thought the style was a cartoony style. And by that, I mean, it was cartoony. Like, it looked like something you would see on Nickelodeon or Adult Swim or something. So it had that sort of look to it, and the colors and everything. So I can see it being some kind of a more maybe experimental thing, but it wasn't so experimental that it couldn't bring readers in.
Right.
So yes, you asked the question, like, who is this book for? I'm assuming it's for folks who like the Robins as a whole, because you do get a lot of information from Damien's point of view about Dick Grayson. And it looks like the next one, he's going to be working with Red Hood. And I don't know how long this is. I think it's 3 issues, maybe 4. I think it's
3 issues.
Yeah. So then he's going to talk with all 3 of them, so he's going to get a little bit from, now it looks from Jason Todd, and the next one it's going to be the last one. And so maybe that's what's going on.
Now, when it comes to the art style, I will say the art did intrigue me in the fact that it was something different that I have not seen from DC. The style of this book, it reminded me a lot of the Image creators. I really liked the Clayface, like the way characters looked.
Yeah,
like he gets the form, so he can play with the form. He was one of those artists. So funny thing, he also wrote one of the stories in the TMNT Free Comic Book Day. He didn't draw it, though. He wrote it.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. So, yes, Lorena, if Damien is your favorite Robin, definitely pick this up.
You're definitely getting it. And you're seeing a couple of different sides of him in this as well. So he's not just a brooding kind of like, rawr. He's actually a pretty good guy. Oh, so bye, Kenneth. Thank you so much for supporting us. And we'll see you later. Hope we'll see you next time. Yeah. And Mr. Towers is right. He likes his short runs, doesn't take too much away from the main stories, but adds just enough background for fans. Yeah, that's true. If you just want to kind of like pop in and see what's going on, or have a standalone story, this is definitely one you can do. And I do agree with I do agree with Preston as well. Sometimes you can do a graphic novel and get it in there and get in and out, and that's what they're doing with a lot of their underages or YA stuff.
All age stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. They're really doing that. And some of that stuff is actually pretty good, so if you want something that's not super, convoluted or dragged down by continuity, you can definitely do that. That's definitely, you can definitely take that role with it as well.
Yeah.
So I actually liked it. So I'm gonna get the next one. I really enjoy the art. So we'll see what's up.
I'm very curious as to. I've always been a Jason Todd fan, so I'm very curious as to what the next issue will bring.
Well, hope you pick it up. So, or
So-
wait, at least wait for the graphic novel.
I think the Batawang. I think that really disturbed people, Mr. Experience.
Yes, the Batawang really did. So, alrighty. The next one we're gonna talk about is the Strange Academy Blood Hunt tie-in #1. Yeah. What?
Okay, let's get this out of the way.
The
Strange
credits
Academy
everywhere.
Blood Hunt. So 3 stories, all written by Daniel Jose Older, and the 3 different artists were Luigi Zagiara, Eric Gapster, and Scott Hanna, and then Eric Gapster again did that, and then the color artists were Edgar Delgado, Eric Arciniega. The letter was VC's Clayton Cowles. Okay, I just want to get this out of the way. I loved Strange Academy. When
Yeah.
it came out, there was no Mutant Academy. There was no New Mutant. There was no children. No
Yeah.
kids' books. So Strange Academy came out, bam.
Yeah,
It made
scratched that itch.
sense. It did, and it was
Yeah.
really good. And
It was.
Scotty Young, great writer on this. And oh my God, I'm blanking on the artist.
Roberto Ramos did a couple of them.
Yes, thank you. Humberto Ramos, amazing artist. Well, now Marvel's like, hey, we realize you two are too busy to do this, so let us keep milking this cow for all we can get. And unfortunately, I think that this issue was all over the place for me in terms of the 3 stories. They could have made 1 story out of it, but I just didn't. This did not hit it for me the way that the original Strange Academy gave me those feels. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So Roger Fleming, Night Terrors was way too much. And Blood Hunt, Barlord has way too many tie-ins. Yes.
And as far as do we like Blood Hunt, I think it got off to an interesting start. If you really want to hear our long stuff, we reviewed it in our last episode. So and we don't really go in on it, but we definitely agree that there was way too many tie-ins, and vampires, for lack of a better term, are kind of played out. So for me in this book, I like the interaction with the kids
Same.
more than I liked the opposition they had. Like, I liked what was going on with the kids. Like, whenever the kids were just hanging out, doing their thing, let's do it. When they were fighting vampires or doing that, and the reason why, I was kind of like, eh. I love seeing Jericho drum. Dr. Voodoo, I love seeing him, and him being the headmaster is fantastic. I really think that they're using this to see if there's still a market for this book. Because
there is, though.
Yeah, I
That's
think
the
there's
thing. Just not this.
Yeah. And again, I do think that, and then the whole thing with like Dracula, and I was a little bit intrigued because now Dracula is going to be an anti-hero, I guess, against Blade. So I don't know. It just seemed like, and that's another thing. Like, Dracula is appears in this book, so that kind of wanted me to feel like, oh, maybe I really should go and read the Dracula now to see what's going on over there. So if anything, this was a good way to get people to at least know what else is going on. So if that was their goal, was to get people to say, okay, you can either follow this story, or hey, here's another story with like Dracula, and he has his own thing too, so you can go see that. Or here's something else, you go see that, So if that was its job, I think it did a pretty decent job of it. But yeah, I think some of you are right. It was kind of a cash grab. Way too many tie-ins. We're not going to review them all again.
Nope.
I just wanted to review this one because I wanted to see how they were going to handle the kids. But we might do like maybe one other one or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, by and large, we're probably not going to do too much coverage of Blood Hunt unless something really crazy happens in it. And honestly, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I gotta say, I have to agree with Barlord. I stopped reading Moon Knight. So he died. I was like, okay, I'm done. I got off the train. I let the train continue, and I didn't look back. Now I'm like, damn it. Now I might want to go back to see what's been going on in these old Moon Knights. Just to maybe get a little...
I mean, I read a couple of Moon Knights, like The Vengeance of Moon Knight, and they're talking about that and the whole thing that happened beforehand with when he was fighting the vampires. Yes. I think, if you're able to find a graphic novel half off somewhere, or, it's definitely worth it to pick it up because the artwork was really strong. And, it was just, what it kind of reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of, what was that? Shadowlands. Remember when if you weren't reading Daredevil, and
Yes,
then
you
and out of
missed
nowhere,
out.
and then out of nowhere they did Shadowlands, and you're like, what? And so so you didn't
Bye,
know what's
Kenneth. Have a
happening.
great night.
Oh, have a great night, Kenneth. So yeah, I think that's one of those things that's happened with this one. You have these lesser known people. Same thing that's happening in Blade. If you read Blade, I was reading Blade for a while. That the little girl that being his daughter, that was introduced in the series, in the Blade series. So
yeah, but do you remember when Marvel used to be the king of prequels and hey, read this. This is you need to read this before you read this. And I mean, hell, they used to do maps of what books to read during like the Mutant Massacre. You must read this book and then read this book and then read this book and then read this book.
Mhm.
Now they're just like, yeah.
If you get it, you get it. If you don't,
you get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was disappointed. Spoilers. We talk about spoilers here. I have to say how disappointed I am. How do you feel about Agatha being a young woman again?
I was more disheartened that the Darkholm is a kid.
I know, that was my second question.
No, that was the thing. I don't care. Like Agatha being a young woman is fine, but that little snot-nosed brat Darkholm being a kid and all that stuff like that was just like that. So took me out of it. Like I was like, really, really, the Darkholm is a child now. Didn't want to eat you.
So that's what I thought. I swear, I'm pretty sure it's inside Wanda, but okay, maybe.
Maybe she gave birth to this. That'd be so cool if they're like Tommy and what's his name's brother, half brother, because she gave birth to the Darkholm. See, now that's the crossover we want. Wanda getting pregnant with the Chaos Darkholm, and and she's got to go get her kid, and they all have to work to. I don't know, like the stuff writes itself.
It does, it really does.
But yes, I was totally fine with Agatha being young again, being young again. I think it's fine, and I do hope that they do more stuff with her too, Mr. Towers, because I think she's a great character, and I think having the one
He's
thing
talking about Bloodline.
Oh, Bloodline. Oh, okay.
Blade's daughter.
Oh yeah, she's pretty cool too. See, I want more magic users. I want more magic stuff, and because the stuff that what's his name is doing over in Gods. It's just not hitting it. It's too like not brainy. It's just it's boring. Like I know he's building something over there in Gods, but like, come on, we can pick up the pace a little bit here. Like it's like, like I just want more magic.
What if they had done, instead of vampires, magic went nuts on the earth, and that was maybe magic users. We haven't had any kind of magical events lately.
No, we haven't. Well, we're gonna get it. That's more cosmic than anything. I keep thinking that the Gods thing, when that ends and we get another, it'll probably. I honestly believe that the Gods thing will probably either be the winter or
spring
of next year. We'll see we'll finally start to see some stuff from that, but. that seems just to be like, and I check in with it and I read it, and I just like the artwork is gorgeous, but I'm just like, ugh. So
The last time I read it was the last time we reviewed it.
it's not bad. It's just like the stuff that's happening is
I just
cool,
find it
but
to
it's
be
just,
boring.
it's just, yeah. So
boring.
So one book that I really liked, was by the former writer of Strange Academy, and that was Ain't No Grave #1, and this was by Scott Young and
Jorge Corona, and then coloring by Jean Francois Boulio.
Yeah,
something like that. Lettering, design, and logo by Nate Picos.
Barlord, to answer your question, it is sorry, Preston. To answer your question, Gods is completely different than Eternals. It has nothing to do with them whatsoever. This is Hitch's attempt to rewrite a Marvel's
Hickman.
Hickman, sorry. Hitch is a artist.
The artist.
Yeah. It is in effect Hickman's way of rewriting the cosmology of the Marvel universe. So Eternity seems to be the big bad at this point, and we haven't seen Entropy. In Eternity is nowhere to be seen, but yeah, there's like agents and stuff. I mean, it'll probably much better in a trade when it's all collected and we can read it all in one go. I think it'll work a lot better. But Ain't No Grave, fantastic story. Not a lot of story, which I think was great. And the reason being is because the artwork is gorgeous in it. It is fantastic. And it is a grim Western. And by grim Western, if you're not familiar with that term, it's basically like Westerns with demons and devils and the supernatural. You know, grim Westerns is the genre that this is in. Cullen Bunn did a fantastic one with The Sixth Gun. That was a really good one. If you want to read some of his earlier stuff, but this is basically a story about a woman who was a desperado, who is now on a quest to kill death because she does not want to die and leave her husband and daughter, because she had turned over her new leaf in life, you know, and became a good, honest woman, and you know, married a man and had a baby. And then she gets, I'm thinking it's the consumption because she's coughing up blood. So I think it's consumption or tuberculosis. And so she's now on this path to kill death. And it's not revealed until the end of it when she goes into the underworld. And I really like, I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, yeah, but what I liked about it is she had the 2 pence for the ferryman, which was actually this giant, you know, guy covered in stuff. And he basically parted this mountain range, which was kind of like, instead of the river Styx, you know, it was this mountain range, but she still paid. I don't know, it's just these little touches that were so good in this book. That was like, it didn't ask much for the reader. The artwork was just beautiful. How the artist would take full, you know, there's like lots of beautiful vistas. I don't know, just the whole artwork was very captivating, and it lets Scotty Young lets the artwork speak for itself, and he doesn't give you a lot of extraneous dialogue or exposition or anything that seems to be unnecessary.
Yeah,
and I think that's
none of that.
I love that. Yeah. What'd you think?
So I gotta agree with you on the art. The art was gorgeous. The pages, when you're going through them, the use of color was also, we don't talk about colorists much.
We don't.
And in this, the colorist really, 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 really gave this book an extra oomph. if that makes sense to all of you. The pages go from blues to reds to oranges. Sometimes it's daylight, sometimes it's moonlight. They understand the concept of color and what it does on a page. Again, comic books are a visual medium, and the art team on this book definitely hit it.
Yeah.
If I had one complaint, I'm gonna be real honest. You get a lot of pages in this. I'm not complaining about the pages. I'm more complaining about this book. To me, was like watching Daryl Dixon's spin-off show on AMC Plus.
How so?
Daryl Dixon spent the episodes walking. So I'm going to walk from here. I'm going to go to the next town, and I'm going to walk here and go to the next. She did a lot of walking, and they really let it known.
She rode a horse.
Well, both walked and rode a horse. And I love that the horse didn't want to cross
into
the barrier.
That valley of death or whatever. Yeah. He was like, nope.
That I understand. We're trying to get her journey. We're trying to show, Scotty Young's trying to say, yes, this is what she's going through to get to this. And hopefully by the end of the book, we'll get there. And we did. But there was a lot of walk, like a lot of the journey with it. I do like the fact he didn't put a lot of words into it.
Yeah, but I think that's the greatest thing about it, was because we got so much exposition in the artwork. And I think for me, that's a token of a good writer, because I think sometimes writers, for whatever reason, especially comic writers, feel that they need to overwrite or take up space, because they feel like if I don't write enough words, people are not going to get their money's worth. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that. Like, I really feel that that's what some artists feel, or some writers feel. But when you're able to allow your art team to show the exposition of what's happening, there you go. If you're able to show the exposition of what's happening, that speaks so much louder than the words, and that's why I'm thinking, like, I'll read some books and I'm like, why are you telling me this? You don't need to tell me what's happening in the book that I'm reading right now.
Right.
Let it just happen. Those words are non-sequential. They don't mean anything. They don't need to be there. And I really like that. It's just this solitary journey of this woman who's basically going to hell. It's just, yes, I agree, Bar Lord. Books that have too much dialogue end up really hurting it for me. Same thing here. It's like you and editors. I hear you. Do your job. Come on, let's do it. Yeah. Only sacrifices on this week's pull list. I might pick this up too. Okay. Rich probably will not read it, but that's a whole secondary story. So.
Sacrificers?
Yeah.
I liked it. Remember?
I know, but it's Rick Remender, so.
I know.
So
I'm going to say, out of all 3 books we reviewed today, that Ain't No Grave would be the one to
pick up.
If you have a light week, pick it up. If next week you have a light week, maybe pick it up.
Yeah, definitely.
And then if you're a Robin fan, maybe that one too.
Yeah. But yeah, the Strange Academy tie-in, you can definitely miss.
You could definitely miss.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we are going to basically pull out our 6-shooters, and we're going to shoot at you with a whole bunch of free comic book day books that we read. So stay tuned.
What do you call the place on Spider-Man's wrists where the webs come out? His website. I hate myself for writing that joke, but you'd make me feel so much better if you just visited our website. We have links to our merch, new release lists, all the show info, and so much more. TheEXPLive.com.
Some comic live streams seem like they're just throwing everything at the wall. Hey, you want this unknown comic? Here, how about this boring one? Found this one in a rain gutter. Give me some money for it. I know this looks like a rotting sandwich, but I swear it's a comic. Pay me! But with Comic Collectibles, we know you don't just want comics, you want the right comics. You want rare variant and incentive covers, vintage books in pristine condition at prices you won't find anywhere else, and truly unique hand-drawn cover sketches by some of the most amazing artists in the business. Join Rex and his rotating cast of co-hosts live from Dynamite Entertainment headquarters for a carefully curated roster of comics that you'll only find here at Comic Collectibles. Every Monday at 6 and Wednesday at 7 Eastern Time. Part of the experience.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You're watching the Geek Chat on the Experience. I'm Rich.
I'm Des.
And be sure to stay tuned because after us is Sketch Up with Mog and Mel. And they're going to have some great guests on for you. In case you've never watched them, it's a live show where people draw and talk. It's fun, actually. It's fun. It's oddly relaxing, too, just to watch people sit and draw. I follow Joshua Cassara, the artist from X-Force who's been doing the last couple X-Men books, and he also does a bunch of live stuff. It's fun to watch him draw as well.
I like watching artists draw. It's fun.
Yeah, it is.
Also, if you haven't already, please enter our variant giveaway. All you have to do is hit the hashtag EXP, all lowercase, uppercase TGC, and lowercase the word variant. It's on your screen right now. Please note that you can only enter if you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. And please also know that if you've already won within the last 30 days, you're ineligible, unfortunately. So, but yeah, if you can put up the beautiful, cover, Chris Samney cover that we have. It's basically not that one. There you go. It's the Amazing Spider-Man 49 by Chris Samney. It is a Blood Hunt tie-in, but the cover's awesome. So yeah.
Also, be sure to tell your friends if you have friends that like comic books, they like talk shows. Tell your friends about us. The Experience put up tonight. The guest on Sketch Up with Mog and Mel is Eric Araga of the comic Ching One, plus Sean Lanahan and Trish Forstner. We're very sorry I butcher your names.
Yeah,
I butcher everyone's names.
We're really
I've been doing it. We started on a radio show, people, and I was butchering names back then.
Yes, he does. But all right, so let's get to these quick fires for everybody.
Ooh.
Oh, Trish is the artist from Stray Dogs.
Stray Dogs and Feral.
Feral was great.
Coop really loves Stray Dogs and Feral.
Check it out. All righty. So,
all right. What do you want to start with?
First one, Blood Hunt, Uncanny X-Men. That's the one. So, funny story. That Blood Hunt one was supposed to come out later after this came out.
So, the idea was that Free Comic Book Day, you were supposed to go to your store on the Saturday and you pick this up, and all it is literally the first couple pages from the actual Blood Hunt. And then it leaves you with a hanging question. When Dracula shows up, you're like, oh, I got to go to the comic book store on Wednesday and get this. Oh, no. Marvel's like, screw that. We're just going to put Blood Hunt out. The most important thing for this comic is the Gail Simone X-Men.
Yeah, David Marquez is the artist, correct?
Gorgeous.
Yes, and we get it. The X-Men now are hunted again. I cannot wait. Oh, I love when they're hunted. Like, give me some hunted X-Men every day. Like, go back to it. I hope they go back to Australia too. Bring it. Seriously. Like, I want it. And the whole mutant thing. I was like, yeah, give me the mutant hand signals. I was here for it. Yes. And Jubilee taking it to the streets. And
she sliced that car in an X.
yeah, that girl was like, or the woman, who's that woman?
We don't know who they are.
Okay.
They're brand new characters.
Okay, because like that one guy, I thought, okay, so he is, because like we saw Blob being all, like, so they basically, what it looks like they did is, I don't think they did it because I think that'd be really morbid if they did, but it looks like they might have made the Xavier Institute where they a prison where they hold mutants.
That's true.
Oh my god!
Because one of the prisoner we see with the red hair is Siren.
Yeah,
Cassidy.
Yes, and I was like, oh my god! Like I freaked out. I kind of screamed when I saw her, and I was like, yes, Siren. So I see some mutants in captivity. I see reform school mutants.
And Inmate X.
So yes, I'm here for it. Bring it. Bring me some freedom fighters, Jubilee on that bike, cutting X's. I loved it. I think it's gonna be great.
It made me very, 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 very excited to read Uncanny X-Men. And we haven't had Uncanny X-Men in years. So I'm really happy that Simone is on Uncanny.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be great, especially if you're having this. Like, I really hope that she's able to manage the free form. What was it? They're able to manage the family aspect with the freedom fighter type of stuff. Like,
we'll see.
I think everything is 90s again, and I'm with it.
Yeah, if you can head to your comic shop, and if they have one, you want to see maybe the first salvo of Gales, this was the one to pick up.
Yeah, really good. So Mr. Towers, I would, at this point, my friend, I would just steer. I'm gonna say this, it sounds so sad. I would steer clear of the X books until this new stuff happens, because they're gonna give you a recap, and then I would just kind of check back in after the new books come out, because they're winding up a 5-year stint from a huge cluster F of books and plot lines and storylines and stuff like that. So yeah, I would just chill out until the new stuff comes out. So
same.
Yeah, the next stuff that we're going to read is Spider-Man / The Ultimate Universe. Okay, Spider-Man. I was a little confused, and maybe you can shed some light on me about this.
So attention, everybody.
Wow.
We need everyone in here to redo the hashtag to win the variant, just in case your name was dropped.
Yes,
so
there was a blackout at Command Central, at Experience Central. So please re-enter the contest. So drop what you're doing and re-enter the contest.
Okay, so back to this. Zeb Wells, the writer of Spider-Man right now, and Ryan Stegman, who he's going to be on the new X book. So
yeah. So
what were you confused about?
Is this a new Spider-Man book, or is this just Zeb Wells and him are now going to be the writers and artists?
No, it's just this book, as opposed to the Blood Hunt book, this was, hey, this is a peek of what's coming up.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Spider-Man.
Okay, because I was like,
it looks like Mr. Osborn will no longer be on Peter's side.
No, I noticed that too. And I was like, okay, so someone on the inside is working to help Peter. Okay. So I was like, all right. So I kind of got that. So I was like, okay, I'm still a little skeptical because of Zeb Wells, but we'll see what happens.
I'm curious as to what the rat was going to say. You are his target. He is in your
pants. I don't know.
circle. He
Probably
is in
circle.
your job. Yes, and very much. Why does Peter try to date? Why?
I don't know. People, we're humans are pack animals. We like people. I mean, I know you don't, but that's what makes you a mutant.
He had to bail. Yeah, I'm a mutant. He had to bail again. I'm just like, stop dating. Stop trying. Just stop.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought the artwork was fantastic. Like,
Oh yes. Now the second story. The second story, on the other hand, the Ultimates, Dennis Camp and Juan Frigeri, they brought us a little prequel to what will be coming up in the Ultimates this July.
This right here is when Hickman is at his greatest, when he is pulling some stuff and world building, and they allow him to just do what he wants to do.
Well, he didn't write this.
I thought that no. I know he wasn't, but I'm just saying. In this, I made a mistake. I did think it was Hickman, but the writer who did this,
yes, Dennis Camp,
knows his history, and all the stuff that they showed about, like in the vault, when they were showing all the things that the Maker had stopped, the Century, Vision, all the things that he had stopped in order to make Black Bolt in order to make his perfect Earth, was fantastic. It was so cool looking at all those Easter eggs, and then bringing in the original Human Torch. I immediately knew who it was. In my head, I immediately knew who it was, and so I was like, yes. So I absolutely this was another one that I'm like, I cannot wait to see. It was so good.
And this book is what Free Comic Day is all about.
Yep.
It is about going to your store, picking up a book, and it makes you want to read the book. Both of these, well, the second story more, the Ultimates on sale in June. I will be picking it up.
Oh,
and this little bonus story leading into it, and then the 4 panels of coming up in the Ultimates, and it's Pest Control, Pym, so Hank Pym's coming back. You've got this letter on my forehead doesn't stand for France moment from the original Ultimates. You've got Doom looking at some lab creatures of the Fantastic Four. Like, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And then the 3 maybe 4 shadowed new heroes for the Ultimates that they're not ready to let us know who else is in it. Like, I am ready for this book.
Yeah, I agree with you, Barlord. I think he's going to wreck shop.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. Okay, Canadian, please post it again with TGC capitalized, please. Yeah, needs to be capitalized.
Loved it. What's next?
Absolute Power Prelude.
Figures.
What did you think of this? So, Failsafe is part of Amanda Waller's thing.
And so is the Brainiac Queen.
Yeah, the Brainiac. Brainia.
I
hate to say it. I might be here for it. Mark Waid. I thought it was kind of cool. I thought it was okay with Dreamer.
Okay, so
that she's gonna win.
Let me just tell you, Mark Waid did the script. Michael Janin, amazing artist.
Artist is great.
Yeah, Trish Mulville, color. So my complaint. Are we ready for this?
Go ahead.
DC puts out this little free comic book, and half of it is story.
See you later, Paul.
And then the other Then the other half is all mostly just pages, and then we get the actual Absolute Power 1, 2, 3 pages. I just think that Marvel gave us multiple books with new stuff, including the Star Wars book, multiple books with multiple new stories from front to back. We didn't even talk about the Venom pages that was in the last book. 2 little pages. This is what they gave us.
Oh yeah, it's annoying. It was dumb. I wish I would have got so much more. No, I agree with you.
I mean,
I
it's
agree with
free, but it's this is supposed to be making me want to pick up your book.
Yeah.
And I just think it was another fail on DC's part to get something out there. That said, they picked a great artist.
Yeah. And again, I do agree with you. Like, I'm kind of looking forward to Absolute Power, but if the goal here was to sell it to make me want to, if this was the only thing that people picked up and looked at for Absolute Power, I don't think it did a really good job for that. Number one, I knew about it because I'm an avid comic book reader and I knew that it was coming. But if I'm a new reader and I pick this up, I don't think it probably would have caught me.
Well, because it takes different books that they're publishing.
Yeah.
And just fits it neatly into a little couple pages.
Yeah.
Because if you're not reading the Suicide Squad, the one where Dreamer's in it, you won't know. If you're not reading Green Arrow, you won't know.
Nope.
So, yeah.
That's the thing about it. I knew what was going on. So for me, and I like the writer. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm kind of excited for this. But as an average reader, I don't think
you know what's going on.
Yeah. So the reason why Barlord that I'm saying this is because I've really enjoyed his World's Finest, and I really enjoyed his Teen Titans, World's Finest Teen Titans. So that's why I'm hopeful that this one will be good.
Mr. Towers, if you're not reading the books, you really wouldn't have. That's the sad thing. Oh, and the other book, Titans. You need to be reading Titans because, unfortunately, I love Titans. I've always loved Teen Titans, anything Titan related. I bought Team Titans. Remember that?
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. I bought them. I bought them all. I bought all the covers. So DC's trying to make one world, and I get it. I get it. But putting something like this out, I like that you are treated as the new person coming in to understand what's going on. Compared to the last Marvel ones we just reviewed, the DC's was just pretty meh.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, what's the next book we're doing?
Johnny Quest.
Okay.
Yeah, you were in it to win it with the Johnny Quest one.
I Teen Titans Go.
It's science.
What did you think of this Johnny Quest book? It's written by a writer you really like, and you've met.
I didn't read it.
You didn't read it?
I didn't read it. I got you a copy, and I didn't read it before I gave it to you.
Oh,
I should have read it before I gave it to you.
So this is directly into the new series that's coming out from Dynamite. It also has preview pages of Space Ghost and Thundercats in it, with a little like interviews with both the writer and the artist.
Yeah, I flipped through it and it looked great. So
July brings us the new Johnny Quest book.
Yeah, and I was really happy with Space Ghost. So I'm probably going to pick this up as well because I was a huge fan of Johnny Quest and the platonic love partners that is Race and Professor Quest. So yeah, I'll probably pick it up as well. What were your thoughts about it?
11. Okay, so much like DC's Absolute Power, they give you 11 pages of story leading into the new Johnny Quest book, including who their, I guess, villain will be. The art is great. The artist actually has the look and feel and the style of the old cartoon. But much like the DC book, this was lacking in substance. But the difference is Dynamite actually gave you preview pages for 2 of their other books, so you can get interested in them as well. As a whole, did this do its job of what I'm holding Free Comic Book Day books to do? Yes. I read it. They give you a shadowed figure so that you have no clue who it is. it did its job. And I'll probably be picking up the number 1 in July. And I think that if you were a Johnny Quest fan, whether your age young or old, I would say pick this up as well. And even though Dynamite is a, what did you call it? A contributor to the experience, I will say what I say, and I say this was pretty good.
Yeah. So we always like to say that.
Yes.
So next we're going to talk about is Doctor Who. It is
Doctor Who.
It is the
starts tomorrow.
It does. No, it starts
tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I thought it was Saturday. Okay.
I thought tomorrow. I'll Google it while you talk. I did not read this one.
Yeah, so this was a Titan Comics. Writer was Dan Waters. Artist was Kelsey Ramsey, and colorist was Valentina Bianconi. Letters was by Richard Stockings of Comic Craft.
It's Saturday.
I told you it started Saturday. But you stay up late anyway, so. Okay, so this was a lot of folks don't know that.
Oh my god, I would love a Venture Brothers comic. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's Venture Brothers versus Johnny Quest. Dr. Venture. This Doctor Who is the first comic book outing of the 15th Doctor, who was the new Doctor that's going to premiere this Saturday. And if you're not familiar with Doctor Who, he is a Time Lord, goes through time and space in order to correct or do weird things when aliens try to invade Earth. He's always protecting Earth. He protects other planets as well, but he seems to have a love for England for some reason because he's English. But anyway, but this is the new Doctor. He's black, queer, very, very excitable. If you haven't watched his first the Christmas special on Disney, you really should. Disney acquired the rights to Doctor Who, so now their production budgets are huge, and they're on Disney Plus now. Which was really weird because in order to watch other Doctor Who episodes, you have to watch 3 different channels, either BritBox, Disney Plus, or
BBC America.
BBC America. So it's really kind of weird. But in this story, the Doctor and his companion, Ruby Sunday and the TARDIS, go to, ancient, not ancient, but like the 1600s in England, and there seems to be cyber technology, and there's someone who is a villain who has a cyber gauntlet that's killing people, and the Doctor, stops him, and which leads us to a much bigger villain who seems to be collecting the screams of these people that he because he promised, he's like a god or something. He promised this person that he would survive, but he blackmailed. He double crossed him, and then as he was being hung, he captured his scream. So the Doctor now has this intriguing story to find out who is this villain who is like causing this mayhem. And capturing people's screams, because he can hear the screams in the time stream outside the TARDIS, where matter and where all of 3-dimensional space collides. Like when the TARDIS is flowing the time stream, he can hear the screams. So
was it a full issue or was it a half issue?
It was a half. I mean, it was a half issue. Yeah, it was a half issue.
What did they fill the rest with?
Basically information about other Doctor Who properties. They filled it with it's 12. Yeah, it's a half issue, and they filled it with where to buy Doctor Who material and stuff like that. But
did it do its job to you? Will it make you buy the number 1 issue of Doctor Who?
It was an intriguing story, but unfortunately the artwork was just not getting it. And I think, because comic books are a visual medium,
you gotta have that.
Yeah, if the artwork is not good, then I can't get it. So unfortunately, I probably will not be picking this up, but I will be watching the Doctor on Disney Plus because I'm really excited for this Doctor. And if you don't know, the Doctor Who Doctor Who has had comics since the 70s.
Yeah.
And they've had radio programs. So there's a lot of different ways that you can interface with Doctor Who. You just have to find it. There's been novels, all kinds of things. Peter David is a really, sorry, not Peter David. What's his name?
David Capaldi?
No, Dan
Peter
Slott.
Capaldi?
Sorry,
Oh,
Dan Slott was the one who wrote a bunch of stuff. Peter David did write some stuff for Doctor Who too. So it wasn't just Star Trek. Anyway,
I want to talk about one book before we're done, which was my favorite free comic book day. And Mr. Experience, I hope you have the cover to the Image Energon Universe 2024 special. Oh my God. Now this book is how a comic book, free comic book day should be done. 3 stories, each, I don't want to say leading into, a couple led into. Oh my God, they did a great job. If you've been reading Transformers, you're like, where's Megatron? This book shows you. We get a Globulus Megatron fight. My geekery was just flaming.
Exploded.
Oh my God, I loved this. Also, Void Rivals, which was what started the whole Energon universe off. We get a very familiar red and yellow and orange Autobot finally coming into this. This book was more than meets the eye, because we also learn, spoiler alert, the Baroness is joining the Joes, and she looks amazing. I just got to show you. That is amazing. Look at that.
She's a secret agent.
Love it. Love it. This book. Got to pick it up. Pick it up.
And if you did notice, this week the Energon saga started this week. So there's a new number 1 that came out this week as well. So you can definitely, if you missed Free Comic Book Day, you can go in, you can pick it up. And it won't have those stories in it. I don't think it does.
No. It's the same book.
Oh,
So here is the little thing. You could have got this book free on Saturday, May 4th, or you can go to that's it. You bought the reprint. So there is it is the same book, but there's different variant covers with a lot of first appearances on them that they did.
Okay, cool.
I have to say this. Yeah, it was the main story, the first story with Megatron. It just made me so happy. Like I cannot say enough. If you like Transformers, pick up the first trade. It's buried, but the first trade of Transformers is out.
It's out.
There's 2 covers. It's great. I say pick it up. The other books I just want to run through real quick. The Valiant universe. They have been trying the Valiants for.
I hate to say it. I loved it.
You did.
Yeah, because I was a fan of Ninjak. So
the whole book was about him.
I read the original Ninjak, and I read the new one that came out. I think Matt Kent was writing it. Fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, I read it and I liked it because I liked Ninjak. Everything else I can care about.
Yeah, and then the Turtles, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles free comic book day, introduced a brand new Night Watcher, which is a turtle that is fighting the humans, I guess.
I was wondering who that was.
Yeah, it's a new character. And then there's a cute little backup story about Splinter getting a day off without the kids. Whatever. This book, though, didn't have anything to do with Jason Aaron's new relaunching of the number 1. And I thought that was a missed opportunity, because you have a brand new book coming out by Jason Aaron with 4 magnificent artists doing, the 1, the 2, they're all going to be different. But yet you didn't give me any of that in this. And I was like,
no sense.
No. I was like, that really was, I don't know. That was a waste. And then the Marvel free Star Wars book.
The kiddie book?
No, it was an adult book. It leads into 2 stories. So Marvel gave us a whole buttload of stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, it really was the Energon universe.
Yeah.
We got work to do now.
We do. Okay, everybody. This is your last call. If you have not put in the hashtag to win the free comic book. The free comic book. Do it now. Do it now. I'm gonna give you 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, and then we're going to go ahead and do it. So, are you ready, JD?
Ooh, Phil got it in at the last. You forgot the hashtag, Phil.
No, Phil. I'm sorry. Bryce Smith is the winner. Fantastic.
Congratulations. You get Chris Samney's Amazing Spider-Man number 49 variant cover from us at the Geek Chat to say thank you for watching.
Yes. Also, please remember, before you leave, JD is going to be putting a link in there. There it is.
Right there.
Please fill it out. Please fill it out, because that's how I get your information. That way I can send you the book. So please, 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 please send it. Send it in. Because I need to get the information that way. So yes, thank you.
Thank
Bryce
everyone for watching us.
Yes. And Bree, sorry. Thank you, Bree. So yes, thank you so much. We love doing this for y'all. Tell a friend, bring a friend. Get mad at them if they win a cover and you don't, but still, we want you all to come in and talk to us about this stuff. If you are a mother, happy Mother's Day, congrats. Thank you so much for helping to populate the earth, and yes, definitely kidnap a friend and bring them, sit them down, like, share and subscribe, share definitely on all of your social medias, let folks know that we are here, let folks know that we love to talk about comics, and stay tuned for Mog and Mel's at 7 o'clock. I'm Dez.
I'm Rich.
And we will see you next time.
Bye.